ṣẹlẹ̀ happen. US ti Boju bàbá Tinubu jẹ́ o. Kí ló dé? Èyí táwọn US ṣe yìí lágbára òṣèwé náà ti gbọ́. Okay. US hold vote to withhold 100% of aid to Nigeria over Christian persecution. An amendment sponsored by United States Congressman Gregory Stobel to withhold all US assistance to Nigeria until the country meets specific conditions to tackle violence has been adopted by the House of Representatives. Announcing the vote on X, Stobel wrote, "My amendment to withhold 100% of US aid to Nigeria until its government stops the slaughter of Christians has passed." American taxpayers should never bankroll governments that turn a blind eye while Christians are abducted, tortured, and murdered. No more wasteful foreign aid. Lọ́rọ̀ kan ṣá, gbogbo ìrànlọ́wọ́ pátápátá tí ìlú Amẹ́ríkà gbogbo wa la mọ̀ wípé wọ́n ń ṣọwọ́ sí gbogbo country káàkiri. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń supply Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n fi ń support wa yálà lówó àti ní everything. Wọ́n ti pass bill ní house wọn, House of Rep wọn o. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ṣe final. Wọ́n ní 100%. Wọ́n ti cancel everything. Kò sí help kankan látọ̀dọ̀ US government sí ìjọba bàbá Tinubu àbí sí Nàìjíríà under ìjọba bàbá Tinubu. Nítorí kíni o? Wọ́n nítorí wọ́n ti warn bàbá Tinubu títí kó stop terrorism tó wà ní Nàìjíríà, especially láti máa pa àwọn Christian. Wọ́n ní bàbá Tinubu ò rí ṣe, wọ́n wá tẹ̀síwájú. Kí ọ̀rọ̀ mi lè yé, ó bẹ́tà kó kúkú gbọ́ lẹ́nu wọn fúnra wọn. Àbí tẹ̀lé mi wá wo fídíò.
I rise in strong support for my amendment to increase the withholding threshold for assistance to Nigeria from 50% to 100%, while keeping in place benchmarks that demand Nigeria take effective steps to address the violence and persecution that continue to devastate the country. Nigeria has faced a horrific wave of violence that its corrupt government has failed to address. For years, and especially in recent months, Christians and other religious minorities in Nigeria have been subjected to violence and terrorism at the hands of extremists operating with impunity. Christian women and girls continue to be abducted, assaulted, tortured, and killed. Their churches are burned, and entire communities are erased. If the aid conditions included in the bill are important enough to withhold half of all the funding to the Nigerian government, then they are important enough to withhold all of the funding. The generosity of our taxpayers is a reflection of the American values we hold so firmly. Never should we allow their hard-earned tax dollars to be funneled to corrupt regimes that fail to uphold religious freedom, fail to adequately confront terrorism, and fail to protect the innocent from persecution. So why are we rewarding a government that fails to meet such a basic obligation? This amendment is simple. It does not remove the aid conditions in the bill, but only strengthens such conditions. But most importantly, it upholds a principle that all recipients of American taxpayer assistance should follow, that they must prove they are willing and able to respond to violence before receiving any funding. Simply put, meet the standard before receiving support. That is the accountability the American taxpayer deserves. Foreign aid should never be a reward for failure. So as our national debt is fast approaching 40 trillion, why on earth are we still allowing ourselves to go further into debt by rewarding corrupt foreign governments that tolerate terrorism within their borders? When churches are burned, women and girls are abducted, and terrorists operate with near impunity, that is not merely an internal disturbance, it is a direct assault on the freedoms our nation claims to defend, which our foreign assistance must reflect and uphold. This is not about punishing the Nigerian people. It is about demanding accountability for their government's complacency and ensuring that our foreign aid is leveraged to defend, reflect, and uphold American values. Even the underlying bill recognizes the Nigerian government's failure to meet the standard, yet it still allows for half of the funding to be released anyways. My amendment withholds all funds until they meet basic standards. Accountability can never be divided, nor should we allow anyone to exploit the generosity of the American taxpayer. I urge my colleagues to uphold accountability in our foreign aid spending and to vote for my amendment. I reserve.
President Bola Tinubu kí ló máa wá ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ wípé gbogbo aid náà tí wọ́n tí America àti every other foreign country tí wọ́n náà fi support Nigeria citizen ẹjọ́ ìjọ́ wo ló kan family ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn kájọ fetí gbọ́. Wọ́n stop wẹ́ o kò kan ìdí ó kan family ẹ̀ ni. Okay. àwọn fámìlì tí ò tiẹ̀ wà wí ẹ̀ wípé Amẹ́ríkà o as a government o wọ́n fọwọ́ ránṣẹ́ sí Nàìjíríà yálà monetary wise àbí material. ẹnu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ẹnu òde máa gbọ́ wípé ó mọ̀ ipá àwọn Amẹ́ríkà náà wọ́n náà fẹ́ wá support Nigeria government láti eradicate terrorists. Okay. ṣùgbọ́n ṣàdédé la rí wọn báyìí o wàá ti máa lọ sí bí èmọ́ tí ń sìn wọn náà ti kẹ́rù wọn ti kó gbogbo ẹrù wọn àmọ́ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn àti bàbá Tinubu àti ìjọba bàbá Tinubu wọ́n ṣáà ti fi Nàìjíríà lẹ̀ wọ́n ti padà lọ sílùú wọn. àbálọ àbábọ̀ ìyẹn báyìí America government wọ́n ti jókòó wọ́n vote bí wọ́n ṣe máa ṣe nu house ní Nàìjíríà bí tí wọ́n vote ṣé ìwọ tó bá sọ pé yes say nay ìwọ tó bá ṣe yé say nay báwo ni bàbá Goodluck ṣe máa ń sọ yẹn say nay say yẹ́yẹ́ wọ́n ṣáà ti ṣe yẹ́yẹ́ nínú house l'Amẹ́ríkà báyìí wọ́n níbi tọ́rọ̀ dé dúró ni wípé àwọn l'Amẹ́ríkà wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní bí akúra. ìwọ tó dẹ̀ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà tó ń wò mí lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ you can bear me witness wọ́n lè ń ṣiṣẹ́ bí akúra ni tẹ̀dẹ̀ máa san tax wọ́n lára owó táàkì tí gbogbo ará Amẹ́ríkà tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ tí wọ́n san òun ni wọ́n ti mú ìdìdì tí wọ́n fi ń sọ́pọ́tì tí wọ́n ti mú owó àti gbogbo materials tó fi ń sọ́pọ́tì Nàìjíríà. wọ́n ní ṣùgbọ́n nítorí ìjọba bàbá Tinubu wọ́n ti wọ́nu wọ́n ti sọ fún wọn kí wọ́n stop kí wọ́n yé pa àwọn kírísítẹ́nì mọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà. wọ́n ní bàbá Tinubu ò rí ṣe for this reason wọ́n ní gbogbo support tó ń wá láti ìlú Amẹ́ríkà yálà lówó àbí material àbí name it anything 100% wọ́n ti stop ẹ̀ láti sìn lọ stopped tó jẹ́ sí wípé ìjọba bàbá Tinubu kò ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ sí anything láti Amẹ́ríkà. mẹ́hìn ẹwẹ́nu lẹ́wẹ́nu kọ́ ẹ wo bí tí ìwà tèmi ta bára wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ń sọ jókínlé lẹ́ẹ̀kan tó bá stop support wọn láti Amẹ́ríkà tí wọ́n fún Nàìjíríà àti iye ọdún tó ti fún Nàìjíríà tí Nàìjíríà ti ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn jọ ṣé o mọ family kàmáàtì ẹ̀ sọ pé ìwà tèmi benefited from it jọ ṣé o mọ family kọ̀ọ̀kan tó benefit from it tó súnmọ́ ẹ ebí tí la fi ń gbọ́ ṣèbí tó bá ti gbà ní ara wọn náà ti ń pa àwọn politicians àtàwọn religious leaders àti àwọn monarch àwọn lọ́balọ́ba àwọn ni wọ́n ń pín láàrin ara wọn kò sí kankan táwọn aráàlú tá a rí kí wá ní tiwa bẹ́ẹ̀ ó pẹ́kẹ́ tó stop ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn àṣírí tí mo sọ fún ẹ wípé ó máa tú òun náà ló ń rí yóò jẹ́ àjọ máa lè bá ǹjẹ́ ó jẹ́ mọ̀ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́ rògbòdìyàn tó wà nù Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe kékeré rògbòdìyàn tó wà nù Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ especially from the northern part wàá rí wípé mostly àwọn fídíò mi from the because àwọn gangan ni wọ́n da Nàìjíríà rú that is why tó ṣe ní máa stop láti máa gbọ́ ìròyìn láti northern part of Nigeria àwọn ní issue wa okay southern àwọn ló dá wàhálà alẹ́ yàtọ̀ fún northern àwọn ní who are the people terrorizing the other Nigerians the northern òun láṣẹ máa jẹ gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ wọn àwọn àṣírí tó bá ń túbẹ̀ tá a ṣe ní láti máa mọ̀ ìjọ ọmọ wípé wọ́n ti bọ́ síta àwọn ara wọn ní northern part of Nigeria ìjàmú wọn ìdímú wọn àbí ẹ̀fọn tẹ ẹni àbí àrùn sí èkéyìí àṣàṣì ọjọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n ti ń tú àṣírí ara wọn o wọ́n ti ń tú àṣírí ara wọn kí n tó wá fi ẹnu sí ìwọ fúnra lára ẹ wá fetí ara ẹ gbọ́ ní kíni nínú wọn Nàìjíríà náà ní gbogbo nǹkan tó báyìí wà ó ti dá tẹ̀lé mi wá gbọ́.
Kaduna State can take care of Nigeria as is. The mineral in Kaduna State can feed Nigeria for 10 years without borrowing. The deposit of gold in Kaduna State alone, we are not talking about Kaduna State, one of the most blessed states in Nigeria, followed by Niger State, followed by Taraba, followed by Nasarawa. We are not talking about industrial like Kogi, no, we are not talking about essential minerals. Do you understand? If you go to some place, I was in Baki Kogi in Kafachan, where we're doing exploration on lithium. We saw high concentration of beryllium, high concentration of aquamarine. I'm not talking about just little quantity. Do you understand? We are talking about thin oil that you can see visibly. Not going for about 5 feet. No, just visibly. Do you understand? Now, the Kaduna State government are still looking for money to develop Kaduna State. And federal government are only having earthly reports on the deposit in that area. Nikon is there. Even the California we are talking about is there. Indianum is there. Rotanum is there. In that same Kaduna.
And yet
nothing. If you go to Beningwari, there's a place in Beningwari when we went to those days, you will see gold at the surface, permanent gold. We're not talking about alluvia, we're talking about permanent gold. At the surface of a rock. Do you understand? And Kaduna State are looking for money. And Kaduna State have over 61 licenses under the SPV, but no operationalization.
So is it that it's capital intensive and where they know?
Look at it. The Chinese
are making the best.
The Chinese, their strategy is very simple. Remember, before now, when the European colonization, everything happened, Europe have a standard for Africa. They build a very high standard for us. They will tell us, even the Americans, tell us, okay, you know what, for us to buy your mineral, for us to buy your agro-commodity product, you must cling to this percentage, you must have 99% and all that. The Chinese formula is totally different. Chinese formula will come to our level. They know we don't have information. We don't know what we are doing.
Or even
they came to our level to buy that raw from us. They will now modify it and amplify it and process it to a higher standard to fit the American market, to fit the European market. While the European market are still waiting for Africa to come to their standard. But Chinese are, even in our own level, they came to our standard at every sector.
In Abuja and send their own children to universities in London. And I need to ask you one question before we go further. After 60 years, what are you still afraid of? What trust are you still debating? Who told you that you cannot afford to unite with the rest of Nigeria? And why did it benefit them so much for you to believe it? Let's go. The lie they built your prison with. Let me show you the architecture of the cage. The elite of the North, the political class, the retired generals, the old guard that has rotated power among themselves since independence, built your loyalty on one foundation. Fear of the other, fear of the Igbo, fear of the Yoruba, fear of the Christian, fear of anyone who does not look like them, pray like them, speak like them. Every election cycle, they come to you with the same sermon. You cannot trust them. They want to dominate you. They want to take what is yours. Vote for us. We are your protection. And you voted. And they won. And after 60 years of rotating presidency, northern generals, northern head of states, look around you. The North has the highest number of out-of-school children of any region on this planet. Not in Nigeria, on the planet. The North has the highest poverty rates in Nigeria, the highest malnutrition rates, the highest maternal mortality rates, the highest rate of banditry and kidnapping. They told you that your enemies were in the South. But the people who kept you poor are sleeping in your own backyard. 2, what is actually under your feet? Now, let me tell you what they never taught you in the school they told you not to attend. The north of Nigeria is sitting on some of the most valuable mineral wealth on this continent. And almost none of it is reaching you. Let me give you the receipts. State by state. Number 1, Zamfara State. Gold. So much gold that Nigeria ranks as Africa's 6th largest holder of gold reserves. Zamfara alone is one of the top producing states. The gold under Zamfara's ground is worth billions. The people of Zamfara are among the poorest in Nigeria. Katsina State. Katsina has gold, lithium, and mineral deposits spread across communities, where bandits have killed over 4,200 people between 2010 and 2023 alone. Bauchi State. 10 mineral deposits. Bauchi State has gold, cassiterite, columbites, wolfram, coal, limestone, iron ore. 10 in one state, called the glory of all lands, a glory that has never reached the people living on it. Kaduna State. Kaduna State has gold, columbite, tin. The Just Plateau, sitting between Kaduna and Plateau State, holds some of Nigeria's richest deposits of tantalum, niobium, and tungsten. Materials the world's electronics and aerospace industries cannot function without. Sokoto State. Sokoto State has gold, phosphate, glycine, limestone, potash, silica sand. Sokoto, one of the poorest states in Nigeria. Kebbi State. Kebbi has gold, manganese. Kebbi, where children are hungry. Borno State. Borno State has limestone, glycine, kaolin, diatomite, hydrocarbons. Borno, where Boko Haram has been burning schools for 15 years. Niger State. Niger State has gold, talc, marble, copper, iron, feldspar, limestone, and more. Niger State, where bandit attacks have displaced entire communities. Nasarawa State. Nasarawa has lithium, copper, crystal quartz, columbite, mica. Lithium, the single most important mineral for the global electrical vehicle revolution, under Nasarawa ground. This is what is beneath you. This is what they have been fighting over.
Oh, ṣé ti rí bó ṣe ń lọ? Ṣé ti gbọ́? Tó bá lísì sí máa yẹn dáadáa, orí pọ́ ká lára. Téèyàn bá mọ nǹkan tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ò mọ̀ tó fẹ́ ṣàlàyé, ó máa ká ẹ lára. Ó ń lọ́rọ̀ yẹn. Ó ní Kaduna, just a state. Kaduna nìkan ní the whole of Nigeria, àbí the whole of North altogether. Ó ní solid minerals tí Ọlọ́run tó gbé pamọ́ síbẹ̀ tó wà ńbẹ̀ tí wọ́n wà. Ó tó is enough láti ṣe kí ni? Láti take care gbogbo Nigerians. Almost 300 million population o. Ìyẹn tá bá ti kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ torí wọn ka sẹ́sọ̀ mọ́. Ṣùgbọ́n ó jẹ́ kó yé ìwọ àti èmi ṣe bọ́mọ bẹ̀ ni ó rí nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ náà. Ó ní nǹkan tó wà ń bẹ̀ ní mineral resources tó bá ní pé kán máa wakùṣà ẹ̀, kán lọ máa tà, kán dẹ̀ máa remit owó sí àkáǹtì gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì, kán dẹ̀ máa pín owó yẹn accordingly. Ó tó nǹkan tí tó yẹ pé Nàìjíríà ò gbọdọ̀ tòṣì mọ́. Ìyẹn ní state Kaduna ni o. Ṣé o mọ iye state tó wà ní northern part of Nigeria? Ó wá ń jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé kò sí any state nínú Nigeria tí ó wà ní northern part of Nigeria tí ó wà richly blessed in solid minerals. Tó bá sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ ti máa yẹn irọ́ ni, ti sister wa yìí kọ́. Ṣé o listen again? Mo fẹ́ kó farabalẹ̀ kó tó padà gbọ́. Di fídíò yẹn kó dìímú dáadáa kó mọ bó ṣe ń lọ́nu Nigeria. Mo sọ fún ẹ wípé ṣé rí àwọn youth wọn tí wọ́n kọ̀ tí wọ́n jẹ́ kán ní education. Ìkankan báyìí ni wọ́n máa wà educated. Ṣé wá rí àwọn kankan tó wà educated láàrin wọn, àwọn ló máa liberate àwọn tó kù tí wọ́n ti brainwash sí àlèmájìrì àti jihadist. Ṣé ti rí bí wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe àlàyé tí wọ́n bá àwọn ara wọn tó ń direct ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn sí àwọn youth ẹgbẹ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni. Mo ní tó bá máa súnmọ́ 10 years upward, àwọn youth yìí náà máa dìde ogun tó máa face àwọn northern leaders and elders. Because láti báyé wọn jẹ́, àwọn youth ti ń realize ẹ̀sìn. Tó bá wọnú Nàìjíríà sí yìí, ṣé wàá rí wípé lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n pass bill yẹn ní house pẹ̀lú bàbá Tinubu wípé any terrorist tọ́wọ́ bá ti kàn kò sí wípé repentant kankan àbí rehabilitation kankan pípa ní inú àwọn northern leaders and elders wọn ò dùn sí àwọn monarch wọn, àwọn emir, àwọn sultan, gbogbo àwọn clerics, gbogbo àwọn northern governors, they are not happy about it. Inú wọn ò dùn sí. Torí àwọn ni wọ́n ní group yẹn tó fi hanra wọn léèmọ̀, àwọn náà wá mineral resources, àwọn náà ń gbowó ẹ̀, àwọn innocent citizen ni wọ́n pa nítorí wọ́n fẹ́ wà stinkly rich. They want to acquire every material things tó wà nínú ayé fún ara wọn, àwọn ìyàwó wọn, àtàwọn ọmọ wọn, àti àwọn immediate family wọn. Wọ́n wá rò, wọ́n bẹ́ṣùbẹ̀gbà wípé ẹ̀mí anybody tó bá máa lọ sí fún àǹfààní ara wọn níbi tẹ́ máa rí bí àwọn sultan, emir ní northern part of Nigeria, the political class and all the religious leaders níbẹ̀, how wicked and how heartless they are. Bí wọ́n ṣe bí mineral resources yẹn bó ṣe gbọ́ tí àwọn méjèèjì tí wọ́n ṣàlàyé ńbẹ̀. Kí ló dé tó sì jẹ́ wípé ibẹ̀ ló jẹ́ abject of poverty in the whole world. Báwo ni northern part of Nigeria ṣe máa wà blessedly, richly in mineral resources, solid mineral, tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dárúkọ ẹ̀ tán dárúkọ ẹ̀ the most àwọn gbogbo expensive solid minerals tó fi build gbogbo material things everybody fẹ́ para wọn lé lórí. The same material things tó ń pa wá lé lórí, tó ń pa innocent Nigeria lé lórí from the northern part of Nigeria. Nǹkan tó fi build gbogbo ẹ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ wọn náà ti lọ́kọ. Báwo ni wọ́n ṣe possess gbogbo kìíní tó sì jẹ́ wípé ibẹ̀ gan ni orísun poverty in the whole world. Àwọn school dropout, àwọn náà pọ̀ jù in the whole world. Why? For you to know the color the northern leaders and elders are made of. Ṣé àwọn tó lè máa hanra wọn léèmọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àwọn ni wọ́n rò wípé ọjọ́ kan àdúrà àtọ́ wọn lọ́kàn wọ́n á wá sọ wípé Nàìjíríà wọ́n ti wá ready láti jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà move forward. Can't you see that it is the northern people that refuse Nigeria to be progressive? Àwọn northern leaders and elders, the northern emir, the northern sultan, the northern political class, and the northern religious leader, they are the one driving Nigeria as a country backward. They did not allow any head of state, any president to do his work, to do his job accordingly and move Nigeria forward. The way tó ṣe ń gbógun ti Tinubu àti ìjọba yìí tó ń sabotage everything yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni wọ́n ṣe máa ṣe fún gbogbo every head of state. Jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run ọdún wo ìgbà wo ọjọ́ wo ló rò wípé òpin máa dé bá ilé ìwọ náà wo generation ìwọ àtèmi tó ti lọ tá a dé tó fi kan ìwọ àtèmi sìn ẹnu ẹ̀ náà la tún bímọ sí àwọn ọmọ wa náà tó ti ń bímọ bẹ̀ adẹ̀ yìí ní hope wípé Nàìjíríà máa bẹ̀tà Nàìjíríà máa bẹ̀tà ó ti ṣóòjú wípé Nàìjíríà ò lè bẹ̀tà. Bàbá Tinubu ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣe kínní yìí regional yìí torí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ náà sọ wípé October 1st lẹ́lẹ́ fẹ́ declare mo ti ṣe findings mi káàkiri kò tí ì sí nǹkan mi tí ì rí nǹkan tó kò you know but láti ọ̀dọ̀ ti tèmi and on behalf of gbogbo Nigerians Bàbá Tinubu ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ bá wa gbé regional kalẹ̀ kẹ́ fi òfin tó ní agbára kẹ́ fi gbá nídìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ lè yọ wá kúrò nínú ìdààmú àti wàhálà yìí torí kò sí ọ̀nà àbáyọ kankan ju wípé tá a bá ti bi regional bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó bá ní Nàìjíríà àìlẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ náà kò ṣeé ṣe tó bá jẹ́ ibi regional náà ni kí oníkálukú kan máa ṣèjọba ara wọn ṣebí resources tó oníkálukú bá ní kí wọ́n máa ṣe kọ́ máa ṣe mining ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ dẹ̀ máa fi gbọ́ ìjọba ara wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run kúkú ṣe àwọn northern wọ́n ní mineral resources solid mineral ju àwa south lọ ìdí tó ṣe wá jẹ́ wípé nǹkan tó wà lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n pọ̀ bíbà ju tọ̀dọ̀ ti south tó lè wá jẹ́ pé ti south yẹn òun náà ránṣọ mọ́ wípé ti south belongs to one Nigeria but ti north belongs to them. That means to say gbogbo mining tí wọ́n ṣe ní northern part of Nigeria wọn ò remit owó yẹn sí àkáǹtì federal àárín ara wọn náà ti ń pín because it belongs to the northern part of Nigeria not Nigerians. Ẹ̀yin àgbààgbà south ìjọ wo ni wọ́n ti fún yín ní àwọn nǹkan tó ń wà kùsà ń bẹ̀ tó ti fún yín ní oil block tó ti ṣe anything ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn northern leaders and elders kò sílẹ̀ tí ò ní oil block ní south bí gbogbo àwọn mineral resources tó wà ní àárín wọn ní northern part of Nigeria ẹ bá wa bèrè lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọba wa political class and every one of them ìjọ wo ni wọ́n pín dọ́dọ̀ wọn torí gbogbo nǹkan ní àwọn àgbààgbà tí wá máa fi kú ẹnu tó bá ní pé regional kọ́ ní kálukú fi nǹkan tó bá ní ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ kó fi tọ́jú ara ẹ̀ at least tó bá jẹ́ pé ló máa stop terrorism nínú Nàìjíríà why not if not ìwọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ ìtọ́lọ́run jogún fún wa ní ilẹ̀ kóòtù ajíire tí àwọn àgbààgbà wa náà bá lò ní ọ̀nà tó tọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe níṣe wípé ẹja pin láàrin ara wa bíi ti àwọn northern ó tó bíùdì ilẹ̀ Yorùbá fa ó tó bíùdì àbí kí ló ní mo sọ ibẹ̀ ni kọ́kọ́ ni mò ń lọ tún tẹ̀lé mi lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
ẹ̀lẹ́ fún fẹ́ẹ́ rí dàpọ̀ lóye ẹ̀fà dòdì lóye ẹnu táyé ṣe wọ́n ti fokó táyé ẹ̀yìn náà ṣe àbí. ṣé wọ́n dòdì yín ni àbẹ́yìn lẹ dòdì wọn wà tú mo gbọ́ ń pé bẹ́ẹ̀ kan ẹ̀ ń bú Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ ọba jọba lọ o ọba tí ò délé Ọọ̀ni of Ifẹ̀ kò sí fẹ́ kò ṣàwò ọba tí ó ń bú àwọn àgbẹ̀ ta ló fi ń jọba tẹ́yìn náà fún yán lóye Ifá olọ́tẹ̀ odù Ifá olọ́tẹ̀ tó yànyìn tó fi ń jọba Ìwó tẹ́ ẹ̀ ṣàwò.
kí ni Portable wí bí ẹ gbà mí Portable tí kò bọ́ ṣe Igumi Olúwo ṣé lóòótọ́ ni ìbéèrè ló béèrè náà èmi náà béèrè pé ṣé lóòótọ́ ni ẹni ní kíni ṣé yóò gbọ́ kan tí Portable sọ ni ó ní ṣeṣe Igumi Olúwo ṣóńdó fúrọ̀ ni. Wọ́n ní very dark man. Gbogbo wa la gbọ́ ìròyìn fídíò yẹn kó tó di pé ó become an activist wípé ó máa ń online fún àwọn ọkùnrin. Mo wà nù bàbá yìí, mo wà nù lánàá. Ibi tó lọ yẹn ó ti forí jóná. So therefore, wọ́n ní àtẹ̀yìnà ti fi ń gba ti ọ̀dọ̀ ti VDM wọlé. Èmi kọ́ mo sọ ó wà online o, don't come for me o. Don't come for me, it's online. Wọ́n lẹ́yìn ló máa ń gbà wọlé kò ń gba wájú wọlé ìyẹn VDM. And tabade jókòó ta wẹnu lẹ̀ ta wẹnu ọkọ lóòótọ́. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, kí ni contribution VDM sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí Olúwo fún ní táyé ṣe? Ayé wo ni VDM tún ṣe? Ṣé ní Ọ̀ṣun state ló ti bá wọn tún ṣe ni? Àbọ̀yọ̀, àbí Lagos, àbí Ògùn, àbí Ondo, àbí Èkìtì, àbí Kwara, títí tó fi dé Kogi? Ṣé VDM ní ìkọ̀kọ̀ tó ṣe tó contribute positively sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni tó fi di wípé wọ́n fún ní táyé ṣe of Yorùbá land? Definitely. Gumi Ìwó kò dẹ̀ sí ayé ẹ ṣe ẹ pé Gumi Ìwó go ní ṣe mọ̀ pé wọ́n dẹ̀ ní bó ṣe wà yẹn tó bá wọ̀ wọ́n lára wọ́n ní tí kinní yẹn bá mú wọn wọ́n lè bá màálù sùn ẹni kò ṣe màálù nìkan wọ́n ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ tí kinní yẹn bá mú wọn dáadáa wípé ẹ̀sìn fàyè gbà pé wọ́n lè ṣe kinní yẹn fún ẹdìyẹ gan, wọ́n lè ṣe fẹ́jọ́, wọ́n lè ṣe fún ọ̀bọ, wọ́n lè ṣe fẹ́ wúrẹ́, ajá kọ́sítọ́mà dáadáa wọn ni. Ẹjọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ là ń béèrè o. Ẹjọ́ ṣé Gumi Olúwo ṣé kìí ṣe pé òun àti VDM? Okay, tó bá nírọ́ kò ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, Portable ló bring it out. Tó bá ní kò ń ṣe léyìí ló ṣe. Okay, kí ni contribution VDM sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tí Olúwo fi ṣe olóyè táyé ṣe? Kí ni contribution? Bá mi kọ sí the comment section. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti rí nǹkan pàtó mú jáde, orúkọ tèmi ò yí padà, Ìyèdára kó ni mò ń jẹ́. Má gbàgbé láti bá mi share, má sì gbàgbé láti bá mi drop comment, bá mi like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, support my bride. God bless you as you do so. Bye for now.